Good evening. Today is Thursday, January 29th, 2026. Uh, how are you doing today? I'm making it. I'm making it. The, the sound of like sensual thread, thread. I'm sorry, dread is nearing. I I you know what? I'm not worried about it. I was 9 years accumulation of 9 to 10 years of stuff about to be auctioned off. Can't do anything about it. It stings. It really does. But I can't do anything about it because I didn't have the money. I do blame myself for it. If I only done the things at the end of the year, I probably would have. My storage would have been safe and sound. It's a hurting feeling that all that stuff accumulated last 10 years be gone forever. Can't do anything about it. I tried, but I wanted to do so much. And for me to lose all that, I have no one to blame but myself. All the pains I've done, gone. Uh, we're only 27% of the way there. I'm going to, well, I'm not going to give up, but I do need to report that I've had until Saturday to bring $601 to storage center and maybe keep it and have it saved. I'll really think about how I got here, living back with my family. I it's just I had to take out a loan to fix my van, and then financial problems started to fall apart, and I had to go back to work because doing the gig business wasn't doing well, and it wasn't paying the bills. No, it was paying the bills, but the crisis of 2022, it wasn't paying enough. I I have to move on. I mean, I'm going to lose all my stuff. All I need is $450, and I think I'll be good because at 450 I can uh, go ahead and pay it off to be current and have my stuff there. It's just I I don't, you know, I'm sorry if my uh, entries have been about self-loathing and blaming myself, but you can only do so much when you're making enough to make the bare minimum, pay all the utilities to make sure that hey, we have a place to live, we have food on the table, we have things that need to be taken care of, like electricity, internet, because I use the internet for work. I I really think that I need to do a lot of work on myself. Maybe if I wrote a book, a small book, I could get money for it, but will it? I don't know if it'll be too early or too late. I'm a painter. I don't call myself an artist, but art could be anything. Well, some people, art is a form of the person's talent. My art may not be gallery potential. I don't know that. Um, but I paint lines, paint shapes, paint weird objects, paint things that are just strange to me. But I like doing those strange things because they show, you know, what I am and who I am. To know that, you know, everything that the world I see or the world's in the eyes of another person, I show that shows, hey, the world may not be as bad as it seems, even though it is bad as it seems. One day, probably, someone will handsomely pay handsomely for one of my paintings. I mean, people have paid copious amounts for minimal things. There, and people, are trying their hardest to become someone in the art world. Not just me, but millions upon millions of people trying to make it in the art world. It is not an easy task. I'm probably not the best person because I decided to go into art and do liberal art, and I know a lot of people are angry because uh, should be wasting my time on art. Should be trying to make money. That is the whole reason I went into art. I got tired of making money for someone else. I got tired of trying to appease to those I worked for. I got tired of that. And it dawned on me that maybe I don't want to work. Maybe I just want to paint all day and look at the stars and travel and do things. But as stated, in order to do things, you have to make money. And to make money, you gotta work for someone. Because you can't work for yourself. Because even though there are ways to. A lot of society does not want you to work for yourself. Society wants you to work for them. So they can be happy and you can be miserable. Well, I want to put my foot in society because I don't like society now. I don't like it. Everyone's saying that you do this or you do that. It's like I'm tired of doing this and doing that. I'm doing something for myself. And if you don't like it, that's too bad. I done this when I started working from home. My main goal was to paint more, uh, try to have at least enough pieces so I can do a small show. And while the show is going on, I can work on another work and introduce that at the end, or introduce that when I'm done with it. Not too. It's bad that I'm lamenting on things that is your fault. That's my fault. But the powers that be made it that way. The powers that be, like knocked out a large chunk of money that I had to spend, and now I can't even get that back. It is that hard. But but I should be optimistic, and there's maybe a silver lining to all this. I don't know. I mean, there's things I love to keep, like my paintings, also my game consoles, gaming, my TV. It's a heavy TV, but it's a CRT. What's that? Well, don't blame myself, but there are things I wish I could have done earlier in my life, but I'm not worried about it. And whatever comes my way will come my way. Once, well, I'm going to once again post the GoFundMe on the page. If once and if you like this video, please subscribe and like content. I will be doing this probably until the rest of my life because I believe this is a good thing for me, that I am actually talking about my life and about things that my life has done. uh I'll end it here today, and as always tell someone you love them, no matter if it's a parent, grandparent, sibling, child, loved one, or total complete stranger. Tell someone that you love them, because you'll never know. It'll be the last chance you'll tell them that. So until tomorrow, this is Shannon signing off.